Welcome, everybody, to the Superhumanistic podcast, where we talk about all things health, wellness, and longevity. Thank you for joining us today. We are your hosts. I'm David.
I'm Jessica.
Make sure that you hit that follow button on this podcast so you never miss another episode. We put out one episode a week on Saturdays. Also, make sure that you leave us a positive rating and review if you've ever found value in these podcasts. That'll help others find the podcast so that they can be healthier as well. And don't forget to share this podcast with someone that you love that is also on a health and wellness journey so that you can have them around for longer. Last week, we talked about plate architects. So if you want to become a plate architect and you want to learn more about how to build a healthy lifestyle around what you eat for dinner, lunch, breakfast, and you want to know what to put on that plate, go back and listen to last week's episode. This week, we are going to be talking about health goals for beginners.
Yeah, so we're going to get into it. We're going to strip away the complex fitness jargon and those extreme transformations that we see a lot of times on social media and talk about the real starting line here. I know I struggled to kind of get a starting point in the gym, so setting those health goals that are actually going to stick.
Yeah, whether you're trying to move better, you're trying to eat better, to get more sleep, the beginning is kind of where a lot of people trip up at.
Yeah, and often people will try to overhaul their entire life on a Monday, and then by Thursday, they're like, okay, I'm done, right? They get burnt out throughout the week. So today we're focusing on the how-to of sustainable, beginner-friendly goal setting.
So yeah, we're going to start off with the why before the what. So before we even talk about gym routines or meal plans, we have to talk about the why behind all of that. And basically, why do most people fail before they even start, do you think?
Yeah, so a lot of times people are focusing on what the outcome is instead of the process. So they say, I want to lose 20 pounds or I want to have a six-pack, which is great to have those goals. So it's not necessarily wrong to have a goal like that, but we also, doesn't really give us the what we're going to do when there's a hiccup in our plan, right? If it's a rainy Tuesday and we're tired, okay, what can we do even though we might not be able to make it to the gym that day?
Today is one of those days. It's very rainy
Yes.
in our area, and we're still here recording these podcasts for you guys. So don't let that trip you up. So how do we flip that?
Yeah, so we're going to use this concept called identity-based habits. So we're not going to set a goal to run a 5K. Really, what we're going to do is set a goal to become the type of person who never misses a workout. It sounds small, but it changes your internal narrative.
Yeah, let's jump into the SMART framework. So that's going to be an acronym. I know everybody loves those acronyms out there. So let's get tactical. Everyone, or I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people have heard of SMART goals. So that breaks down to specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. But for a beginner, let's break down that into something that's more actionable for you.
Yeah, so let's use this as an example. Instead of, I want to be healthier, we're going to say something like this. Being specific, so I will walk for 15 minutes after dinner. Measurable, I will do this for 4 days out of the week. The achievable, so 15 minutes, we know is a very low number, so keep that number low, especially as a beginner. So 15 minutes is low friction. It's hard to say no if it's only a low number. And then relevant, it helps me build of movement of habit. And time bound, I can track this for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, guys, it's about those little micro wins. If you set the bar so low that you can't possibly fail, you're going to start to build up that confidence. Once you build up the confidence, you can then start to raise the bar.
Yeah, so then let's talk about when we do get into that slump, because it's natural as we especially are getting started and we're not seeing the results right away. It's natural for us to be like, all right, well, I give up, right? So what to do when we start to get into a slump? well, what does happen when life gets in the way? Because obviously today it's rainy and we're here recording podcasts throughout our day. So what should we do?
Yeah, that's when you can set a guideline there, such as the never miss twice rule. So if you have a bad day, which is going to happen, or you miss a meal, or you skip a workout, it's going to happen. Don't get too judgmental and too hard on yourself there. Just don't let it happen 2 days in a row. So a lapse is not a failure. It's just data collection at that point.
Yeah, exactly. You're not starting over from zero. You're starting over from that experience.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap it up for you today. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, just pick one. And I mean one tiny thing to change this week. Don't worry about the finish line yet.
Yeah, just focus on showing up for yourself. That's the most superhuman thing that you can do.
All right, check us out on YouTube and Instagram. Don't forget to share this podcast with someone that you love so that they can live a long, healthy, happy life. Make sure that you leave us a positive rating and review so we can continue going on this journey together and continue making these podcasts. That'll help others find it. And we appreciate you joining us on Superhumanistic. We'll see you next time.
Bye.